Hello and welcome to episode 2 of my playthrough of The Outer Worlds. Last time I had turned in this quest for the gravesite fees to Silas here. So next up on my list is going to be to go speak to Reed Thompson at the cannery inside of Edgewater to try and get a power regulator for my ship. So this is the main quest, Stranger in a Strange Land. Phineas needs your help to set things right in Halcyon, but you'll need transportation first. So the ship's power regulator has been damaged beyond repair and must be replaced. So we talked a little bit to the townspeople and found out that the man to speak to is Reed Thompson. He's in charge of Edgewater, and he might help us find the part we need. So we're gonna head there now. Inventory wise, I'm okay. I've hanging on to a little bit of pieces of armor here, just for in case I need more. But yeah, I may end up selling up some food also, because I don't think I need that many. So we're gonna head into town. I think before I go speak to Reed, though, I will go and explore a little bit the cannery, a bit more than last time, because I feel like I've missed a few places. And also I have to see if there's any more work that I can get inside of this town. Hello there. I don't know why, but the comments to speech thing doesn't seem to be working. So, where did I not explore? I think I read this terminal. Yeah. I've been through here, although... yeah. So I emptied that place out. Maybe I did explore everything here. Nope. Okay, so there doesn't seem to be anybody here. There we go. I need these supplies to get going in the first few parts, I think. I'm not going to be stealing everything I can get my hands on, but... claw rake. And this is Phyllis's terminal, I think. Yeah. I think I went through everything here. Yeah. that's it. Oh, maybe here. It's another office. Oh, mag pick. And some stuff. Oh, so this is Phyllis's terminal actually. The other one is someone else's. So let's go look in the messages from R. Thompson. Phyllis, owing to your hard work and positive attitude, I have sanctioned your access to medical treatment in the event of contagion. As you know, the company has not provided us with enough medicine to treat every worker. I wish I could treat every member of the Spacer's Choice family who fell ill to this plague, but I cannot. Medical privileges are strictly merit-based. Please do not, under any circumstance, distribute your ration of medication to any other worker. We're all in this together. And personal files, password required. We're going to hack that. Personal files, last entry. Theodore buried last night. Reed asked me not to report his death in our quarterlies. Sounds fair to me. Was asked to prepare a statement or something for the other workers. Been thinking about it, don't know what to tell them. Don't end up like Theodore. Do your work, show up, wear a smile, and you'll get your medical privileges. It's a start. Right. Okay, so I think we're going to go speak to this Reed Thompson guy. I think I have to use the elevator.
Please, Holcomb, the grease monkey, Argo?
I'm sorry, Mr. Thompson, sir. You asked why it's taking so long to fix. The answer's technical.
Don't apologize. Just try using small words for me.
The cans bust open in the oven because she's set to cook saltuna, which isn't what we've got. Mr. Thompson? I think there's someone here to see you.
Focus, Miss Holcomb. You and I are still talking. Let's start over. Walk me through the process. Show me where it's going awry.
Well, sure. It's, mostly on account of what we're feeding into the mechanism.
It puts food in cans. We have food, we have cans. Why won't it work like we need?
She's expecting saltuna of a certain size. We're filling the cans with, well, not fish.
Okay.
Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Pavati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself.
I'll wait until they're finished.
You were saying, Miss Holcomb.
It's just what Bess needs is a proper refurbish. I can bandage her up and what all, but she's just old. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'll do better.
And I do wish you'd stop referring to our cannery as Bess. Personification of company property is strictly contrary to the Spacer's Choice Code of Conduct. My apologies. I am not in the habit of allowing my guests to witness such a row. Now, what can I do for you?
We can start with introductions. I'm Mark.
I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I must say, wearing a Marauder's outfit is in very poor taste. I do wish you'd show your uniform a little more respect.
I don't work for Spacer's Choice.
Of course not. I don't have that kind of luck. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through.
My ship needs repairs. I'm looking for a power regulator.
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process.
Let me guess, you want me to do something for you before you'll help me?
My proposition benefits the both of us. Please, hear me out. There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way.
When you say it mostly abandoned, what do you mean?
I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there.
I don't think these people will take kindly to losing their power.
No, I do not imagine they will be pleased. But like a parent disciplining an unruly child, you will be doing them a kindness. The people living in the botanical labs, they're deserters, former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home.
Why?
Edgewater is struggling. We haven't hit our production quota in years. If we don't meet our quotas this year, the company might shut us down for good. I need those workers back at their stations.
How can I help?
My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town.
How will I recognize Adelaide?
Adelaide's older than the other deserters. She's dignified, kindly. From what I understand, her camp looks to her for leadership.
What if Adelaide doesn't want to come back?
That is not a hypothetical I enjoy entertaining. We need Adelaide back. Nonetheless, I will settle for the return of her followers. We belong to one community, the Spacer's Choice family. If we dissolve into factions, then we will all perish separately. Adelaide will understand that.
All right, Reed. I'll see what I can do to help you.
My dad told me all about the plant. Taught me all he knew. I could come in useful. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented and may prove useful to you. You will need an administrative passcode in order to enter the plant. I am trusting you with mine, and trusting Miss Holcomb to guide you if you'd like.
Sure, I could use the company.
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask of a stranger, I know.
All right, let's get going. His office seems to be pretty bare. Actually, there's nothing you can take here. Oh, wait. Ooh. Oh, that's just a... Alright, so I'm assuming he has the key.
Hey, mister, can we talk? Sorry. Can we talk?
Sure.
Sorry. You just want to get out of here. And you likely don't want to tag along like me. It's just, Mr. Thompson has his own view on matters, on account of it's his job and what all, but that's not the only side of the tale.
This is about the deserters, so what's the other side of it?
To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. The deserters are decent folk. I knew some of them before they left.
How well did you know the deserters? You worked with them, you were friends, or what?
I don't know anybody well. I mostly listened to them talk, kept my head down. There was a boy named Thomas who used to follow me around, asking questions about the stuff I fixed. He was real sweet to me. Not any sort of dissident.
Did you notice Adelaide Reed mentioned?
Miss McDevitt? Oh, gosh, no. She was a real important person. A flavorist. Made all the food taste decent. She used to work up in the big office with Mr. Thompson. All I know is she left after her son died. It was a real big to-do. I could hear them both yelling clear from my own place.
You can't leave it at that. Why were Reed and Adelaide arguing?
Can't say as I know. I wasn't there. The sound carried, but not the words. If Mr. Thompson ain't of a mind to tell you his own self, you'd best ask Miss McDevitt, if he can get out to her.
I can't blame anybody for wanting to leave. This town's got issues.
Life's hard here. Especially for them that don't fit in so well. We're one big Spacer's Choice family, but every family's got the one the rest whisper about. Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no lights to see, nor heat to cook. They'll be at the mercy of marauders, or worse. I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is.
Okay, but where would I find him?
The mission's on the east side of town. You can't miss it, on account of it being the only clean thing.
I suppose it couldn't hurt. We'll stop by.
Thanks, mister. I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, it's best to think on the right and wrong of it. That's what my dad used to say anyways.
Alright, so... now we have a new quest for... yeah, delivering the Reed's message to Adelaide at the Botanical Lab. Yeah, I think we're going to go speak to the vicar, I guess, before we go. Yeah. So the church is this way. But let me just look around here real quick.
Sorry, I'll just be a minute.
You had a minute. Next one comes out of your pay.
Ease off the threats, friend. I'm going.
Boss's orders. We all got quotas to make.
I've always felt weird in here. It's too clean.
OSI vial. What's that? Tastes like enlightenment. This might look nice in one of the crew's rooms on the Unreliable. Oh. Okay.
Hey there, Mary. Don't see you round here too often.
Oh, I just came to talk to the vicar is all. None of us are above confessionals.
What have you got to confess? You ain't thinking of deserting, are you?
What? No. And I resent the accusation.
wasn't nothing but a question. Do excuse me.
I must be on my way. Verity to you.
This must be the vicar.
Yes, what is it? You're an outsider. Fantastic. Vicar Maximilian de Soto at your service. Or Vicar Max, if you're the sort who prefers brevity. And Ms. Holcomb as well. How rare to see you out. And with a complete stranger. Curious.
Just tagging along, Vicar DeSoto. Don't mind me.
I so rarely get new people to talk to. Name your poison, anything at all. Spiritual counseling? This season's tossball predictions? The quickest way out of town?
Parvati wanted to talk to you about what Reed asked us to do.
But what? I thought you would talk to him.
You wanted to speak to me, Ms. Holcomb? Every time I've tried to engage you in conversation, you look at the floor, answer in single words, and slink away. I can't imagine what would be so grave as to drive her to my mission. What has Mr. Thompson asked you to do?
Cut off the power to Adelaide's deserters.
Depriving them of safety from the marauders and wildlife. I can see why that troubles you. Miss Holcomb has a soft heart. Always has, if you believe the talk.
What do you think of Adelaide's group, Vicar?
They rejected the order of society and live beyond the walls so thoughtfully provided by our Spacer's Choice patrons. Does that strike you as a responsible life choice?
Depends on how well the leader can provide beyond your walls.
Astute. But I am here, not in the deserter camp. So that's not a variable I can account for.
So what do you advise?
Assuming your goal is to save as many as possible, then you should bring everyone together. Send the power to Edgewater and convince the deserters to return to the fold.
Is that even possible?
Not if things are left to stand as they are. If you don't mind a bit of unsolicited advice, be cautious on your way to the geothermal plant. It is not as safe as you might assume.
And why is that?
One of the reasons I transferred here was to fulfill my duty in hunting down banned heretical texts. I happen to know such a book is, as we speak, tainting a collector's library in Emerald Vale. However, the collector's residence lies outside the town's walls. My retrieval efforts have been thwarted by marauders who have overrun the property. Should you fare better than me, I'd pay a handsome sum for the book.
A handsome sum, you say. Tell me more.
It's a handwritten journal. A faded blue cover with the name M. Bakonu handwritten in the lower corner. I'll mark where I saw it on your map. Assuming you're serious?
I'll look for your book.
Thank you. If you retrieve it, you can always find me here. Any progress on that matter we discussed?
That was like 5 seconds ago.
Please get it.
You seem pretty concerned about that book. Care to tell me why?
A religious text deemed heretical by the OSI is an unsafe object at large. Though I understand why a collector would desire to possess such a rare book. Because I'm also a collector of books. Rare things in this colony. Appreciation of the written word outside monthly periodicals is virtually unknown here.
How did you know I'm an outsider?
I've never seen you before. And there's been no paperwork indicating a transfer. Half the time it's wrong, but a new worker without paperwork? Unheard of. Also, you lack the distinctive worker gaze. Usually either a deadening behind the eyes, or in some rare cases, a wild-eyed frenzy, like a trapped animal. Pretty universal here. Except for Ms. Holcomb, who, for some reason, doesn't seem to have much to say to me. Isn't that right?
It's just... There's more to it all than numbers. Sorry.
I'm a bit surprised to hear you dismiss your parishioners so casually.
I'm simply bemoaning the level of spiritual awareness in this town.
Isn't it your job to raise that?
Yes, but there are few who hear me in this miserable place. I must double my efforts to elevate my flock. These are good, hard-working people here.
Hold on a minute. Did you just refer to this town as a miserable place?
Yes, and thank you for pointing it out. It is wrong of me to succumb to distress. This place could be so much more, and I will continue in my quest to make it so.
What sort of spiritual advice do you offer here?
They who are not satisfied with their work are satisfied with nothing. No. How about, work fortifies the spirit. True exhaustion awaits idle hands.
I was actually asking what your religion was all about.
The OSI teaches that the Grand Architect set a perfect system in motion at the beginning of time. Contentment is found by accepting one's role in that grand plan.
What does OSI stand for?
The Order of Scientific Inquiry, also known as scientism to the layperson.
How do you talk to this Grand Architect? Prayer, meditation, or what?
You don't talk to the Grand Architect. Once the universe was set in motion, it stepped back. It has no concern for us.
So what's your part in all this besides counseling people?
We will eventually decode the plan and all its intricacies. Once we are able to deduce the properties of every particle in the universe and its trajectory, we will know everything. The future, the past, each person's place within the plan, all will be laid out before us, removing struggle and bringing peace. No one will ever need question their path again. Some even believe this ultimate knowledge will unlock mankind's true potential, and we will all become akin to Grand Architects ourselves, after a fashion.
Really? How does that work? Tell me more.
Well, first there's the matter of the secret blood rites and animal sacrifices. I'm kidding. Seriously, though, to truly understand the metaphysics involved takes years of study and contemplation.
All right, so I'll go get your book. He said he marked it on my map. Companion quest. Okay. Alright, so it's really north of the village. Yeah, so... Is there anything else I need to deal with? Oh yeah, that mechanical scout, which I found in the junkyard earlier. Let me just go have a look again. But the junkyard was on this side.
He ain't no threat.
Bet I could fix him up smart.
Searching for repair bay. Error. Navigation systems failed. Unable to comply.
I could probably fix that. I mean, if you wanted me to.
Go ahead.
Yep, I see the problem. His nav mod got dislodged. Must have taken a tumble. Just gotta give it a good push and wait for the click. There we go. Jeremy's good as new. Well, new by Spacer's Choice standards anyhow. His name's Jeremy, by the by.
Navigation systems operational. Optimal path toward repair bay detected. Initiating self-diagnostics.
Parvati, why did you name the mechanical?
On account of I fixed him. And he's Jeremy on account of his helmet. It's like Jeremy, the officer in True Romantic Tales of the Space Guard.
Is that an 8-wave cereal or something?
Surely. I make a point to watch every Tuesday night. Be more careful out there, Jeremy.
Alright. So I guess I can go speak to Ludwig now and say that I've handled it.
When I was little, we'd get freighters in every Sunday news.
Bring us honor, soldier.
You won't have to worry about that scout anymore.
You beat that scout to scrap with its own legs? Pulled its optic cables out its head case? Actually, don't tell me. Rather use my imagination. You're a passing fair soldier, I will confess. But you are one, and the enemy is legion. What you need is an equalizer, a weapon to strike fear in their cold, mechanical hearts. Cantina, lavatory, behind one of the toilets. That's where I've kept it hidden all these years.
Yeah, I found your bundle stashed away there.
What? All by yourself? I could have sworn I hid that bundle safe from prying eyes. Give it here. Feast your eyes, soldier. This here's a genuine Spacer's Choice injury customizing unit, designed to deliver a lethal blast of electrical discharge. I call it the Hand of the Law. You ever want to see a mechanical flailing around like a grounded fish? You stick a couple thousand volts in its guts. With compliments from old Ludwig.
So, how do I use this injury customizing unit exactly?
There's a workbench right through this door. Attach that unit to your favorite weapon and go forth into glorious battle. Time's come for you to journey down into the black heart of the enemy's camp. I'm talking about the old geothermal plant. Unfortunately, the old plant lies outside my board-given jurisdiction. You'll need to get a passcode from the boss, Reed Thompson.
Yeah, don't worry about that. I've already got a passcode from Reed.
I've been after a passcode for years. Boss said no on account of my gross incompetence with all matters related to security. I need you to get us the brain of a mechanical. Well, not exactly a brain. Anatomically speaking, what we're looking for is a logic module.
How am I supposed to get one of these logic modules?
There's the rub. If a mechanical breaks down, the logic module fries. So you can't rip one out of its corpse. You're going to have to find an intact model somehow.
Parvati, is a logic module something you could help with?
I don't reckon so. I work with gears and pistons and such. Stuff you can put hands to. Computers and mechanical brains are outside my ken.
You know, she names the mechanicals she fixes. Calls them Bess and Clancy and so on. You keep a careful eye on her. Could be a sympathizer.
What are you planning?
Don't tell anyone, all right? I've got a contact. A real expert in the inner workings of the automaton. We are gonna rip those mechanical secrets right out of their circuits.
Edgewater's in the middle of nowhere. You don't have a contact.
Well, excuse me. What I meant was I'm going to get a contact. I didn't know I had to be all prissy about my grammar around you.
Anyway, seems simple enough.
If you die horribly, I will pour out a can of 0G to your memory.
Alright. Level 4. Yeah, I'm going to raise my tech here because this skill unlock for engineering is very useful. Field repair. Repair weapons and armor in the inventory instead of having to find a workbench. So I'll put 4 points into that. So I've unlocked this. I can also improve my weapons and armor in the workbench with tinkering. And unlock the second drug mixing slot for the inhaler. As far as the other points go, I have 3, maybe 3 in each. Yeah, hack would be really good, but I can't get to 40. Maybe persuade. Yeah, I think I'm going to put points in dialogue. And leadership is also useful, I think. That way when I heal, the companion's going to get the healing effect as well. Well, part of it anyway. And the last point I'll put into stealth, I guess. Yeah. Alright. And I have a second perk. I'm going to be looting a lot of stuff, so I think I'm going to take Pack Mule, because I'm already 50 out of 90. Yeah. There we go. And I think Parvati has a perk also. Bonus support engineering. Yeah. Alright, so this quest is leading me to the power plant, so the geothermal plant. Where's this cache of medicine? Oh, really close by. Even more close by than the manual, so I think I'll go here first. And then there's these bounties. So there's one here, and one there. I guess we'll pick those up as we're nearing by the area. So yeah, I'm gonna go with this one for now. Retrieve the cache of medicine. What did he give me? I think he gave me a mod or something. Oh yeah, Mac to Zap. Okay. So let me try and see if I can put some stuff on my armor here. And weapons. So the rifle's already modded out. Yeah. I'd have to change the magazine. Wait, how come there's 2 different ones? Oh, no, that's one's the N-ray that I got from the Mega Sprat underneath the landing pad. So, you know, I think my hunter's rifle is good. I'm not gonna sacrifice the mag size instead of putting shock for now. And the rest of the weapons I couldn't care less. I'm gonna maybe break this one down. Yeah, break all of these down to get weapon parts. Alright. And repair, nope. Tinker, maybe tinker my rifle a little bit. Yep, that's going to raise the damage. 102 bits, sure. So it's a level 4 rifle now. As far as armor goes, oh yeah, I'm gonna have to give her some armor, I forgot. This one, what kind of mods do I have? Geographic scanner, sure. Alright, sure. So I'll equip some armor for her, if it's better. What's her current armor? 7. Dex skills +5. Okay, so this is basically just a straight upgrade. And helm, block +5. Or one-handed melee +5. Yeah, this one has a lot more armor, so I'm going to put that one on her. Alright, and yeah, I think I should break those down. Get some armor parts. And this one too. I'm going to keep the hibernation suit because I feel like this is like either a unique or one-of-a-kind armor. So, should I repair my stuff? How much is this going to cost? My armor is only at 90%, so that's still good. Helmet is still good. Yeah, so I'm going to leave everything as is. Alright, so, right, cache of medicine. I'm just going to go around this side of town. Through the cemetery. Just double check to make sure I have not missed any good loot here in the town. Oh. There it is. Ammo and armor parts. Oh, this is the bridge. Yeah, there must have been a lot of containers that I forgot to unlock. Probably have enough mag picks, but tracking them down is going to be difficult. Yeah, I have 4 now, so I'm going to hold on to them for now. Oh. Wait. Oh. There's a fence. This is empty. Oh yeah, I've been here before. It's pretty dark out. I'd probably go sleep, but maybe I can find a bed somewhere in here. Normally these houses have beds. Yeah. So let's just sleep for 8 hours. Should be day out now. Hey. Alright. Follow this road. It's a road. Oh yeah, I cleared that place before. Yeah. Yeah, with the little campment there. Oh.
handle this.
Going down. Ooh.
That's the last of them.
Okay. We'll loot these corpses. Break down. Whoops, I did not need to do that. I meant to break down. Alright. This one. Tossball card Tyson Christensen. That must just be junk that I could sell. Alright, so the community center is up ahead. Just gonna look around here. This is the first one I killed. Overhauled power helmet. What do I have as helmet? One hand melee, which I'm not going to use, so yeah, I'm going to take that and equip it. Better armor, always good. I'm going to break this down. Alright, I'm going to search this house. Oh. Yep. Oh, it's not a house, it's like a shop. Right. More food. Food and booze. Oh, storage room. Oh. Yes. Ammo. Oh, yeah. Oh. Sneak +5. Yeah, I'm gonna use that one. Less armor, but sneak is always good. Unlock this.
Nice.
Trip blade, which I will break down. Magic. Mr. Ouch. So that's a mod for a melee weapon. Gyro sight and some bits. Cool. Upstairs. Ransack. Oh, what was that? Whisper. Wait. Oh yeah, Whisper Quiet Muzzler, which I can't use on my hunting rifle, unfortunately, because it does not have a barrel slot. I'm assuming that the other barrels or other rifles that I'm going to find are going to have one. But hunting rifle is good for now. Spacer's Choice Corona. Oh, locked door. Man, this geographic scanner mod is useful for highlighting stuff.
Dang, that's impressive.
There's a clean bed. Ooh. Tug kit. Melee weapon skills. Pep pills. Heavy ammo. Assault rifle. Ooh. So how does this assault rifle look? I'm going to unequip this pistol because I'm not going to use it. I'm going to break it down also. Unequip that. Neat. think this house has been ransacked properly. I can't open that one. Can't go into that one. Oh, more enemies. Yep.
That was clean.
Right in the back. Never knew what's coming. Just go around here. Where's that place? Alright. So this must be the community center. It's way too big. Where's the... Another assault rifle. So I think I found you a new weapon. There we go. I'm gonna break that one down. Or sell it. I think there's more enemies. Oh, yeah.
Hear that?
It's right behind that column. Come out. Yet another one. Gotta love that sound. Alright, so I'm just gonna loot this guy. These guys actually. Nothing. Stuck in trees. Come on. Oh, there's a secondary entrance. Yeah, I'm gonna try this one. Alright, so there's a lot of red dots on the compass. Vending machine. I think I'm going to sell off a bunch of this food. So at this difficulty level, it's not that useful. Can I even sell stuff in here? Yeah. Okay, so let me sell this gun. I'm gonna hold on to that. Yeah, there's no way I need 17 of these. So I'm gonna sell 7. I'll keep 10. Yeah, this is all food. apple, bunch of nanners, fish sticks. Pep pills. Companion ability cooldown minus 50%. Yeah, we'll hold on to those. Tea. Energy drinks. Just water. Yeah, I don't have that many. I'm not... alcohol I'm not going to use. Nicotine, no. Alright, so I think that's good. Nightingale step. Yeah, that would be nice. Does my armor even have the utility slot? I don't think so. Oh yeah, I used it for the scanner, geographic scanner. Alright. There's some people in here. Come up from behind? Oh. Okay. Sentry saber. Oops. Meant to pick that up. I'm loving this scanner thing. Geographic scanner. There's another guy in here. Yeah. Yeah. How can he not see me right now? Really? Okay. What's that? Antique saber. What? It's not a weapon. Quest item? Oh, another thing for the crew. Model spaceship. Alright, so... one above and one below, seems like. Yeah. Or now there's two below. Night. Headshot. Lockpick +5. Compared to sneak. Yeah, lockpick is more useful, I think. What does she have as a helmet? Oh yeah, I'm gonna give her this heavy one. Yeah. Because I don't think she needs block, really. Speaking of which, I should probably change. Yeah. Mixed. Yeah, she can switch. It's fine. Coolant tank. That junk. Yeah. More Spacer's Chaw, which I don't want. I can always sell it. I think the last guy must be upstairs. Oh, first aid room key. Excellent. That's probably going to be useful. Oh, this is the main entrance. Okay. Spacer's Jaw. Let's look up this terminal. Oh, so you can actually encode a first aid key this way as well. Might as well. It's going to give me experience, I think. Yeah. Return to root. Logs. History of Emerald Vale exhibit. Synopsis. The history of Emerald Vale, once complete, will display the proud heritage of our settlement for generations to come. Decorating the main hall of our noble community center, this elaborate diorama of memorabilia of our settlement's founding will embody the hard-working spirit of our Spacer family. The centerpiece of this grand exhibit will be a taxidermized mantiquine erected within our main lobby as a sign of civilization's victory over nature itself. Director Pickett. Okay. Can I open this door? No, it's barred. So this must be the exhibit thing. Yep.
Here they come!
Wait. What? Whoa! Didn't see you.
Here we go!
Oh, come on.
We made it!
My gun is needing repair. Actually, you know what? I'm going to sell that. I'm going to break down this one. And I want to repair my rifle. Yep. Alright, so before we were rudely interrupted. Go. Dead people. Pills. Pocket watch. I hear sprats. Oh, that's the barred door. No, that must be the first aid room. There you are, you little sprat. Tactical shotgun. Scrap that. Another first aid room key. I'm going to break those shears down. I'm not going to be using melee weapons really. Apart maybe from the one that I found on the landing pad, which is this one, the landing pad cutter. It's two-handed, but I guess in a scrap or in a bind. Riot control armor. Sawed-off shotgun. Wait. Breakdown. Yeah. Riot armor. 4 armor and plus 5 stealth skills. Which is... yeah. Alright, let's check this terminal out. Welcome, Director Pickett. Messages from I. Rosenberg. Subject keycards. Everyone, the keycard encoder in the lobby is back up and running. Hopefully it won't go on the fritz again and start shooting keycards at anyone who walks by. As a reminder, in case it does break down again, you can borrow a keycard from the director or one of the workers in the second floor office if you lose your card. From L. Tremel. Please stop. Director Pickett, I must lodge a complaint. Your obsession with this Mantiqueen is wasting all of our budget and holding up development on the entire exhibit. This has to stop. Lamont Tremel, Financial Officer. And from Hunters and Trackers Limited. Hello, Mr. Pickett. This letter is to update you regarding your request for one adult Mantiqueen. As you may remember, our trackers discovered a beautiful specimen out in the wild. Per your approval, we deployed a team of our highly skilled hunters to kill it for you. We regret to inform you that the entire team has perished. Please expect an invoice from our office including the cost of their gravesite fees as stipulated in our contract. Additionally, we must ask you to cover the cost of all equipment damaged, corroded, dissolved, eaten, or digested, partially or otherwise. Thank you for your patronage. Please allow me to offer you the opportunity to purchase a second hunting expedition at a 10% discount. I look forward to hearing from you. Sincerely, Hunters and Trackers Limited, partnered with the Wildlife Eradication Society. Okay. So, Mantiqueens. They look nasty. Okay, so this must be back to, like, that's the kitchen. Okay, so I searched all of that. Right? Nope, got a bunch of bread. Okay, so okay, here we are. The one I tried to open earlier. Okay, so I'm going to be able to unlock this, and the medicine must be in here. There it is, cache of medicine. Ollie toxin free. What does that do? Harmful status effect duration minus 50%. Okay. Stun baton. More pet pills. Dervish mist. Oh. Okay. I'll break that down. Cool. Oops. So I think I'll go explore the second floor and then go look at the exhibits, and then I'll be out of here, I think. So second floor, I can go to the stairs. I think are in the main lobby. Yeah. Let's go up there. Ammo. Mock apple juice. More dervish mist. What is this? Guide to Mechanical Engineering Volume 1. Young Spacer's Guide to Mechanical Engineering Volume 1, a dense technical primer on mechanical engineering published by Spacer's Choice. This volume describes the process of building a computing machine with using electrodes and spectrum potatoes? What the? Okay. Pet pills. Weapon parts. else around here? Or apple juice? Quick scan here. Seems to be alright. Yeah. Alright, so the exhibits, they were down here. Through here. Alright, so what are these? Saltuna. If the ocean and rivers are the heart and veins of Emerald Vale, then Saltuna is our highly profitable blood. These meaty fish live in the ocean and migrate upstream during mating season. Saltuna are semiparous, which means they perish after a single reproductive episode. That's when our trusty Spacer's Choice harvesters scoop up their corpses to be cleaned, processed, canned, and delivered straight into your dinner table. Okay. The next one. Oh boy. Yeah, I've seen those ones before, I think. Primals. This display, fashioned to resemble a pair of mighty primals, required extensive field research. Let us have a moment of silence for the researchers who gave their lives in the pursuit of authenticity. Oh, you can even hear the little noise they make. These are canids and ptero rays, I think. Canid. Canids can be found all over Emerald Vale in two distinct varieties, domesticated and feral. Feral canids hunt in packs, while domesticated canids can be loyal companions. It is important to remember that the canid is still a wild animal and should be treated with caution. That one doesn't make a sound. Yes, it does. And there's no display here. Must have been the one for the Mantiqueen. Coming soon, Mantiqueen. Feast your eyes on the great frilled Mantiqueen, sovereign of her nest, imported from the wilds of Terra 1 to thrill and excite your imagination. Okay. Alright, so that's it. So, while I'm here in the area, what's the closest thing? I'm here. I suppose I could swing around here. Yeah, what I'll do is I'll go a little bit lower here at the crossroads and I'll go explore these buildings and then go get the manual. So let me just tag this quest as being active and head out. So I'm going to go back to the intersection, right? Yeah, and then go left. It's already night. Did I miss anything here? Oh, yes I did. Adreno time, or adreno time. And ambidextrine. Ambidextrine. What does that do? That one? Ooh, very good for me. Sniper, critical damage plus 15%, bonus to extra headshot, weak spot damage plus 25%. Yeah, so I'm keeping my eye out for the ambidextrine for sure. So there's probably going to be guys up here. Yeah. See, 1, 2. Go undercover here. down. There has to be more. No? And we move up this rock, this rock. I can't see anybody. Oh, there you are. You can come out of that crate. Out of behind that crate. Come on. Oh, you heard me. Oh, there's two more actually. Down as well. I don't know if there are any more, but there's a lot less than there were. Oh, yep, there's one. Oh, a tamed cannon. Alright, let's move up here, just to make sure. Yeah, I think this place is cleared. Oh yeah, the manual is here, so what's here? I don't know. Okay. I'll loot these bodies. Carry rate is excellent. Alright. Oh, 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 oh. Where? Maybe up there? I think this place has a balcony. Terminal. Clement Eldridge from J. Bartel. Clement, I find I must disagree with your theories about the Earth Directorate's place in the colonial system. Sadly, as much as I appreciate the board and the new frontier they've opened for us, I believe Alcyon and all the other colonies on the rim of the galaxy would fall to pieces or war amongst themselves if the Earth Directorate wasn't around to regulate trade and settle disputes. Do you think the corporations would accept the mandated inclusion of an Earth Minister if they had a choice in the matter? Jefferson. From C. Elridge, Spirit of Adventure. Jefferson, of course I never dispute that Earth is the heart of the whole colonial system, but the real adventure and independent spirit upon which humankind truly thrives is to be found out here among the furthest colonies. I still think you're wrong about the history, though. The discovery of the skip drive was not what gave the Earth Directorate power over the corporations. The high costs of the Great War left them in a weakened state, and the skip drive was simply the extra leverage the Directorate needed to return to power. Clement. Interesting. See, I don't think I've ever read that terminal before in my previous playthroughs. Okay, so there's an upstairs and there's a stock room or something. What is that? Oh, that's the manual. Collector's letter. No, it's not the manual. I just got the letter today. Corporate ordered me to relocate to the Edgewater Cannery, effective immediately. It's a shame. I was really looking forward to running my own gift shop at the community center, selling rare memorabilia. But scripture tells us that all things happen for a reason. Work fortifies the spirit and all. As for my book collection, I can't bear to part with it. Don't want those books moldering in some contraband locker. So I stashed them all away in a cave over by the river. Okay. Plasma rifle. Ooh. Oh yes. Alright, so instead of a pistol, put that, swap that out. Swap out pistol. Nice. Toilet. Nothing. Right, second floor. I think there's a guy up here, to be honest. No. Maybe outside? Nope. So I don't know where that red... Oh. Wait. Good night.
Go.
Impact hammer. Okay. Ooh. Please lead to some loot. No. It's just a different way of getting up here, I guess. Yeah. So I'm gonna go loot that body. Alright, so cave by the river. So I know the map is going to show me where the journal is, or the manual. Yeah, so right near the river. So I'm gonna head there. And I did not search this house. This one I can't get into. Another stun baton. Yep. Alright. 200 meters away, roughly. Saw some red very briefly, maybe over the hill. Transport wreckage. Oh yeah, there's definitely bad guys here. Marauders, most likely. Go around this way. Oh. So the cave entrance is here. I see some light up ahead. What is that? Mine? So the enemies must be up top. OG brew. Tarmac and cheese. Yep. That's the safe.
Easy.
Journal of M. Mokoni. Light machine gun. Alright. Oh, another mine. Our body. Right here.
Got it.
There we go.
I'm going.
Alright, so I guess I can return the journal to the vicar. Although I get the feeling that there's a bounty near here. Yeah. I'm gonna go get that one. It's, which one is it? I don't know. One of these.
Okay, keep it quiet. Forward go. Nice one. Don't mess with us.
Okay. I see you over there. I missed on the first shot. Level up. Excellent. Okay. Yeah, so inspiration is something that I want to raise. Yeah, I want to get long guns to 60 also eventually. So I think I'm going to spread the points around. So I'm going to put difficult. Definitely going to use more stealth. if I get to 40 on a hack, unlock access to restricted items and vending machines, which would be really useful. Okay, so I have that. And I think I'm going to raise my dialogue skill for the rest. Yeah. There we go. And Parvati has a second perk. To increase your chance of looting mods when Parvati is in the party. Yep. Cool. So, just explore his camp. Hunting rifle and your finger. Gross. My gun needs repairs.
You got that?
Okay, and there's the one up top here. I think I saw a ladder. Mock apple juice. So this must be a good sniping position. That's my ship over there. You're reliable. You're right, Parvati? Oh, there she is. Alright, so... yeah, I think I'm gonna head back to town. Give the journal to the vicar. Turn in this first bounty, and also give the medicine to either Esther or Abernathy. I think I'm going to give it to Esther. I prefer that the medicine gets given out to like more people than just one person. This one is at the plant, and that's the main quest. Alright, so back to the village or the town. The dead resident. Interesting. Let me turn on this one.
Hey, Miss Parvati. Come for a visit?
Not today. Just helping this fella.
Wait. Lifetime net value 5,122 bits. Auto Chang. Really? Can I highlight one of these? No. Just this one. Interesting.
Where are we headed?
I noticed you mention your dad a lot, but never your mother.
That's on account of how I never met her.
How's that possible?
She was in another division of the Spacer's Choice family. She worked in the Vale a few months, sorting the cannery computers. Her contract said any kids she had, expected or not, belonged to her office from the time of conception. So when I was born, I got sent here.
You got along well with your dad. You might not have with your mother.
Could be. Reckon I'll never know.
You mentioned something earlier that I wanted to ask you about.
You mean about the mission being too clean?
Isn't it supposed to be clean? It's a church.
I know, but Vicker says the universe is a machine, that it runs by law. Real machines have gunked up oil, scratches, and worn bits. You can tell they've seen handling, been used by folk. The machine Vicker sees is one ain't never been run. It's not for people to live in. It's something on a museum shelf, under glass.
It's an ideal, not what we live in, but what we strive for.
It just comes off cold to me, is all.
Right. Stuck on gravestones. I feel there's certain parts of the town that I've not visited also, so I'm gonna just do a little bit of exploration as well, see if I can find something else, maybe another quest or something. I hate that I had holstered my weapon and it brings it out as soon as you go into town, which is kind of ridiculous. But alright, so barbershop I've explored was this sick person place. Cantina I did not go and look into. Amelia
You're not
Kim.
a big drinker, are you?
Hmm?
Something you need?
Did not mean to draw my gun just there.
In the bar? When I asked if you were a drinker?
Yeah, you sounded worried.
Sorry. I know, it's none of my business.
I don't make a habit of imbibing.
It's not like I think it a failing, mind. It's just I live right across the road. Most nights I watch folks out my window. When they come in here, they might be happy or sad. Mostly they're tired. When they leave, they're mad at themselves. Or they stumble into the alley and listen to their hearts breaking.
You're very sensitive, aren't you?
Am I? Well, it's just normal to me. Why isn't everybody else, I wonder?
Oh yeah, I went to the cantina and I found a bundle in the lavatory, but I didn't speak to the bartender.
Oh, I almost forgot. I'm contractually obligated to recite company slogans to any visitors.
I think I did.
We'll get you mostly drunk at half the price. Spacer's Choice.
Yeah, I think I've spoken to her before. Alright, I'm gonna give the medicine to Esther.
I've got some time.
So I've got that medicine you were after.
Thanks. I'll see to it that this medicine gets to the people who need it. Here, something for your trouble. Nothing personal, but I hope we never do business together again. Don't want to make a habit of consorting with smuggler types.
Never? That's harsh. At least leave me something to remember you by.
You do have some cheek on you. Lucky for you, I kept a little contingency fee in case you tried to negotiate with me.
I'm curious, who are you going to give that medicine to?
Somebody deserving. Silas on account of him being out in the cold. Amelia seeing how she's around people all the time. Anybody in the sick room?
What do you do here?
Oh, I'm an actuary. That means I keep tabs on a worker's living expenses. How much it costs to feed, clothe, shelter, bury, and replace your average human worker. Technically, I'm employed by the Spacer's Choice Department of Human Resources.
I'll leave you be. I'm gonna go talk to Barden.
You wanna mingle, go try the cantina.
Sorry, Abernathy, I gave that anthracycline to someone else.
You what? But why? I was dependent on you. Does it feel good? Robbing an old man of his last shred of hope?
I'm sorry, I did what I had to do.
Betray a man in his final hours? Of course, I understand. Hell, I'd probably do the same to you, given the chance. So, you just here to watch me die, or what?
Alright, I'm gonna turn in the bounty to the constable.
I've never actually been in here. Seemed scary from the outside.
Wanted, Phineas V. Wells, for various crimes and violations of board policy, including any or all of the following: sedition, forgery, conspiracy, conspiracy to commit conspiracy, unlicensed medical practice, destruction of board property. I can just open up these cells? I guess so, but there's nobody in them, I think. Yeah. Should I look at this one? Oh yeah, bounty records. Open bounties. Yeah, so these are all the Guillaume Antrim. Yeah, so I read all of that in the posters, so.
Something to report?
I'm here to turn in a bounty.
We pay by the finger. What do you have for me? Here we are. Bertie Cotton. Cause of death. Let's just say overwhelming physical trauma. Bert was the local preacher before Max took over. Always was quick to remind us that we all get what we deserve in the end. I'll just need your signature here, 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 and here. Got any more fingers for me?
No, but I'll bring you the other ones. There was something about closed bounties also on this one. Oh, so that one. That one's closed because I turned it in. Okay. Manual.
Been eating nothing but salt tuna for a year.
Not manual, but the book. Why is it pointing the outside? Oh, because it turned on the main quest. I want to go see Vicar. Nothing here.
This is where the magic happens. Well, science. But it still happens here.
Oh, so this is your place.
Hey, that's... I mean, if you need it. Okay.
Alright, so that makes sense. What do I need to do here? Yeah, break down some weapons. Like this batons. revolver, sawed-off shotgun, light pistol, light machine gun, and a rifle. Maybe tinker my rifle a little bit more. Yep. And I'll put a mod on this. I'm almost tempted to put shock into this one. Yeah. And put in a gyro sight. Yeah. So now, interesting. Alright, so I already explored Havarti's place. Yeah. And I've explored the cannery, so I think I've explored everything here.
Heard Marauders got it.
Lost his nerve. Ran off in the thick of night.
You kidding me? Damn. Always thought he was made of stern stuff.
I think he was plagued. Guess he didn't want to die in the sick house.
Plagued? Ah, shit. I had some of his salt tuna.
You moron.
Alright, so I'm gonna head back to Vicar Max, or Max Vicar.
You think corporate's ever gonna visit?
I'm not holding out hope.
Any progress on that matter we discussed?
I've got your book right here.
Wonderful. This is fantastic. Well worth all the sacrifices I... Wait. What the fuck is this? Is this French? I can't fucking read French. It's a law-forsaken joke is what it is. French. Ha! I was so high and mighty, preaching to the yokels about following the plan, while fighting it at every turn.
What's so important about this book?
I've spent my life searching for the keys to unlocking the secrets of the universal equation that underlies the plan. I had hoped this book held some of those answers. I became so desperate, I even got myself assigned to this plague-ridden backwater to find the damn thing. All the time and suffering I've spent. Wasted.
Why did you think the book held the secrets you were looking for?
Bakonu, the author, had some interesting theories about man's perception of reality that I thought could be applied to our attempts to decipher the plan. Unfortunately, he was also one of the founders of the Philosophist school of thought, so the book is banned in this colony.
What's a philosophist?
Philosophism's a false religion that stands in contradiction to almost everything we know to be true. They believe all is chaos, in stark contrast to OSI's belief in the plan. But most of the philosophist perversion of Bakonu's thoughts came more than a century after his death.
A vicar searching for a banned book sets a bad example, doesn't it?
The story of my life. Most lay people are not aware of this, but we've not discovered any new insights into the plan for a long, long time. I had an idea that we should welcome the truth, no matter where we found it. I had the worse idea to share my thoughts with a superior. And that's how I ended up assigned prison duty, where I was fool enough to let an inmate bend my ear with stories of an original Baconu journal. But that's neither here nor there. What I need to do now is to find a translator, obviously. But to do that, I'll first need to secure transport. You have a ship. Perhaps I could make myself of use to your crew.
Could be a beneficial arrangement. You need a ride out of town. I wouldn't mind a ship hand.
Certainly. I already gave you most of my money, but I can offer you free spiritual counseling, and I'd be happy to watch your back. I'm pretty handy with a tossball stick, or any blunt instrument, really. I'm also a passable gun hand, if it comes to that. I can usually talk my way out of conflict, though. Oh, I'm fairly competent at hacking computers as well.
That all part of your vicar training?
Well, understanding computers is, though I admit I took it further than most. And I was quite the 32nd back during my penitentiary term. Left many an opponent bleeding in the prison yard.
Sounds good. Let's go.
Fantastic. Let me get my things in order and I'll catch up with you.
Edgewater's gonna miss you. Folk here always had good things to say about their vicar.
Thank you, Ms. Holcomb. I'll be glad for the change of scenery, and to leave this place behind. I shall see you on the ship, Captain, whenever you're ready to leave Emerald Vale.
All right. So... I think the next step is going to be to go to the botanical lab. Which is over here. So I can run by the community center again, and yeah, that's what I'll do. Carry weight is okay for now. I did not mean to go up this exit, but that's fine. I need to sell junk at the next vending machine that I find. Locked door.
Okay, going quiet.
Oh. This just leads back to Edgewater. Strange. Okay. Side. Yeah, rabid sprats.
No. Oh! Nice one! We're pretty good at this.
Okay. Oh, vending machine. Cool. Sell junk. Got a fair amount of money on that. Buy some more picks. All right. Ooh, a lot of heavy ammo. Suits. I gotta be careful, there may be more marauders out here, even though I've been through here before. So far, so good. So, yeah, straight up ahead and then right. And explore these buildings here. Oh, locked door. Doesn't appear to be marauders here. Well, ones that are alive anyway.
Go.
Oh. Scorched Journal. After sneaking parts out of the industrial sector for a couple of days, I think I finally have everything I need to build my own flying death machine. However, upon closer inspection, I'm not entirely sure all of these components will fit together properly. It's not like the board would build their mechanicals with custom tool parts, right? Everything would have to be modular and for all these mechanicals to run efficiently. I'll tool around with things for a bit and see what I can put together. After a few hours of experimentation, things are starting to come together, but I still don't have it down to an exact science. For instance, there's something wrong with the memory processing core that I can't seem to sort out. When I tried to install it, the unit made a loud buzzing noise and refused to respond to any feedback. I removed it, whacked it with a wrench a few times, and that seemed to stop the buzzing. Things seemed like they were working for a few seconds after I installed it again, but now there's a sharp clicking noise every few seconds, and the damn thing's right stabilizer won't stop twitching. I'll try removing the processing core again and giving it a few more good whacks. That'll learn it. Okay. So this must be what he was working on, and he got killed by it. Armor parts. Okay. And there's also a door here. More Mac picks. Okay. Music box. Mac picks. Ambidextrin, yes. Alright, good stuff in here. What about the other house in front? Skin Tough Salve. Another bypass shunt. Some ammo. Okay. So keep on heading north.
Move along, stranger. We don't want any trouble. I don't know you. Whatever you're looking for, it ain't here. Move along.
I'm looking for Adelaide. I need some answers.
Answers, huh? You must be one of those philosophicals. Already got ourselves one of those.
I'm looking for the geothermal plant. You know anything about it?
A geo what? Look, Plants ain't my purview. You're better off asking after Adelaide. If you're gonna start wandering around my camp, know that I got my sights on you.
Where can I find Adelaide?
Over in the hothouse, tending crop. Enough with the questions. No offense, but I've got a lot on my mind.
Trouble with marauders?
You don't know what enough with the questions means? No, I'm sorry. That was unworthy of me. Lady named Zoe went missing some nights ago. Just up and vanished without a trace. Now I'm pacing around wondering if marauders got to her.
I'll keep an eye out.
It's not like Zoe to go wandering. Figured she might be out scavenging, but that ain't exactly her talent. Can't imagine where she's gone. Hell's a wide place. She could be anywhere.
Don't worry about it, I'll find her.
Appreciate it. Honest.
I've got questions about Zoe.
I'll tell you what I can.
Any idea where she might be hiding?
Vex me. If she told anybody, they ain't telling me. I'd check her room, but I got yelled at for snooping once already.
You snooped around in her room?
Little ways ago. She was always obsessing over her serial dramas. Wanted to see what the fuss was about.
Maybe the marauders took her away?
Could be. Dangers aplenty out there. No telling why marauders would steal somebody like Zoe. Got no useful skill as far as I could tell.
How well do you know her?
Well enough to know we never got on. Zoe and Stefan were close. If anybody knows the workings of her mind, he does.
You seem so personable. Can't imagine how you didn't get on with her.
She was lazy and thoughtless, but she's still one of our own.
Let's change the subject.
What is it?
Actually, I'll leave you be. Alright, so we need to have a look to see if I can find this Zoe. Search for clues in her house and talk to the Stefan guy. Or not Stefan. This is just a, yeah. Let me highlight the side quest here. Oh, well, this must be Stefan.
You hungry? We got canid ribs, canid flank, canid snout too. Something I can help you with?
I'm told one of your numbers gone missing.
You mean Zoe? Yeah, we were pretty close. Not like her to go loping off.
What happened on the day Zoe disappeared?
Zoe and I were gonna watch the serials, as is our custom. She never turned up. I looked around, but she was nowhere to be found. You sound like some type of corporate fixer asking all these questions.
Tell me a little about Zoe.
Zoe was always obsessed with this serial. Masked Marketeer. A scion of Byzantium turns to banditry and teaches his marauder companions the wisdom of free market economics. Shame she up and vanished when she did. I had a surprise lined up for her.
What was that about surprising Zoe?
The other day I got my hands on a genuine copy of the latest Masked Marketeer. I was gonna surprise Zoe with it, but she was gone the next day.
Was she acting strange before she disappeared?
Can't say I recall Zoe ever acting strange. Well, except for her habit of writing things down on scraps of paper. She called it journaling, but I think it's just plain odd.
Hold on, there was something else.
Hey, I got time.
Okay, see you around. Right, so her house must be... Yeah, that's just a store. I'm not gonna steal anything for now. Let's Especially considering there's some people wandering around. Yeah, our house is up here. Zoe's journal, page 22. Well, today's the day, Zoe. Today is the day you take your destiny into your own hands. I've been listening to Grace talk about the Marauder threat. Bands of wild, free-spirited bandits living in camps out in the hills, warming themselves by the light of barrel fires. Probably mounted the heads of their enemies on spikes as a warning to folk like me. Living a life of comfort and ease, free of any rules. I bet they could take the whole region if they were organized. I've been tucking away some of Adelaide's food, and I've got some spare cans of salt tuna. Should last me a couple of weeks if I ration. Got some Adrena thyme too. Everybody loves Adrena thyme. Even marauders, right? I got odds those marauders will let me throw in with them if I dangle a couple of syringes of the Adrena thyme before their eyes. This is going to be great. Look out there too. Bandit Queen Zoe's origin story has just begun. I'm going to have a whole gang of marauders at my beck and call. Maybe I can even score some Rizzos. Okay. Zoe's journal, page 12. So that's it then. No more Edgewater for me. No more cannery, no more jumpsuits and gloves, yes ma'ams, and would you like another's. I don't know why I'm writing this down for posterity's sake, because I've always hated the cannery and I don't think I'll ever have to look back on this journal many years hence and tell myself, oh wow, I did hate the Veil once, didn't I? Just because I got sick. Everybody gets sick. Well, okay, I got sick and I grabbed a little too much Adrena thyme. Is that really a crime? I gotta treat myself when I'm sick, don't I? Whatever happened to personal responsibility and surviving by one's own bootstraps? Oh, but you misappropriate one box of Adrena thyme and suddenly you're committing larceny. Alright, there's one here. Page 18. Good news, I'm alive. Starting to feel a little bit better too. There's a group of deserters living out in the old botanical labs. They found a way to grow some food, or something that passes for food anyway. Adelaide boiled a pot of something green and leafy and told me to drink it twice a day for my symptoms, I suppose. Tastes atrocious, but I've been feeling better. It's nice to be away from the cannery. The labs have just enough power to run an Aetherwave, so I've been catching up on my serial dramas. Masked Marketeer, what would I do without you? Go crazy, most likely. Crack up, murder all my neighbors, and run screaming into the hills like some wild marauder. I don't know. That doesn't sound too bad. I could see myself leading a cadre of marauders, a band of bandits. Wait, that doesn't sound right. Band of bandits? What would we call ourselves? The Formidable 14, the 100 Hooligans featuring Zoe, Bandit Queen. Okay. Yeah, so Marauder Camp in the east. Okay. Is that something I can decorate in my ship? I think it is. Yeah. Alright. Might as well talk to Adelaide here while I'm here. So see if there's any more townspeople I can speak to. Deserter.
Oh, that's Thomas. He used to follow me around before he left the cannery.
Where? Oh, this one.
Oh, didn't see you there. I was just occupying myself with a little engineering. Whoa, Miss Parvati. Hey, you're, what, how are you? Hi. Hello.
That's awkward.
Are you, are things safe out here? How are you keeping?
Great, just great. I've been trying to keep stuff running, just like you. Only I'm not so... Wait, they didn't kick you out, did they?
Oh gosh, no, I'm just along with this fella here.
Are you from town? I mean, you don't exactly look like you're from town.
I'm passing through.
Sorry, I just wasn't sure if you were from town or if you were one of us. Something's been chewing at me, you see. Fact is, I've been, well, lying. To everybody here. Camp thinks I'm a mechanical genius, but I couldn't fix a busted chair.
Never too late to start learning. I could give you a couple of pointers.
I'll take all the help I can get. I set my mind to learning the craft of the engineer, you see. I want to make something of myself. You ever heard of the Young Spacer's Guide to Mechanical Engineering? Comes in a set of 3. If I had my hands on one of those data pads, I could teach myself the ins and outs.
Those are good. My dad kept a copy with him when he was working in the cannery.
I know the old community center kept a copy. Should find another one back in town. If you could find me even one of those pads, I'd be greatly obliged.
Yeah, I actually found one. So today's your lucky day, Thomas. I've got one of those data pads you wanted.
No kidding. Really? Well, which one?
Part 1. I found it in the community center archives.
Look at that. Building a computing machine out of Spectrum potatoes, a primer. I'm just glad it survived all these years. I appreciate you going through all that trouble. In fact, I put aside something special, on the off chance that somebody'd search out those data pads for me.
Hold on, I've got one more for you.
Well, don't keep me in suspense.
Part 2. I found it in the cannery.
Ain't that just ironical? If I'd worked a little longer back at the cannery, I might have found this myself. 2 whole data pads? Be still my beating heart. Oh, almost forgot your payment.
I'll let you know if I find any others.
Sure. I'd be glad to take them off your hands.
I want to ask you something.
What's on your mind?
How long have you lived here?
Couple months. This camp's my home. People you see milling about, they're my family. At least I think of them that way. I owe them my life. Would have died in the wilderness if they hadn't chanced upon me, starving and delirious.
What were you doing out in the wilderness?
We all left the cannery for one reason or another. Me? I was let go. Mostly on account of my incompetence. I mean, I was incompetent. I couldn't even survive on my own. Grace found me, Adelaide took me in, I've been on my feet ever since.
You weren't incompetent. You just didn't fit the cannery. Not like here. This place had a U-shaped hole, and now it doesn't.
You could stay, you know. Here. I'd be happy to... I mean, we could really use... oh, this isn't coming out right. If you want, Adelaide would make a place for you.
I should go. Alright, so I need to find one more journal. Yeah, I don't know where the other journal is. The quest doesn't tell me any hints, but maybe it's in the geothermal plant. So I think I'm gonna look for Zoe first, but before I'm gonna talk to Adelaide. Yeah, so let's go to the wow.
If you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside. If you're bearing illness, find a place to lay your head down and I'll fetch you a poultice. Whatever your troubles with Edgewater, leave them at the gates and be welcomed here. Any questions, dear?
You must be Adelaide.
I have been called that, among other things. Green Thumb, grandmother, the strange old lady who keeps flowers. But yes, Adelaide will do just fine.
Excuse me, Miss McDevitt? Sorry, it's just... You got such pretty trees in here.
Why, thank you. You're Robert's girl, aren't you? I remember when you were but a sprout. Thomas speaks of you often. Are you staying long? You should try some of my tobaccorn tea. I brew it in an old spittoon, but it's been cleaned.
Is this your greenhouse?
No, dear. The garden belongs to us all. Life is the gift of the universe, and the universe yields its bounty equally, absent of prejudice.
I'm surprised you've managed to grow anything out here.
The soil around the Vale went sour years ago, but I found a way to sweeten it back up. The secret recipe is a little bit of elbow grease, a dash of love, and a heaping pile of special fertilizer.
Looks like you made a home for yourself out here.
A home for anyone who's ever turned their backs on Edgewater. A home for those of us with nowhere left to go and nothing to lose. So, like the spores of the puffball, cast on the wind and alighting on fresh soil, we put down new roots.
Why did you leave your old home?
It is an unpleasant story, dear. But the short of it is that sometimes one wakes up and realizes the place that was once her home for much of her life has changed. The home in which we spent our lives has left us behind, and so we must move on. And that is as much as I will say on the subject.
So Reed sent me to make peace with you.
Reed Thompson? You here on behalf of that cold-eyed reptile? Let's hear it. What's Reed's idea of peace, then?
Reed asks you to consider coming back to town. He's willing to make amends.
Make amends? Spare me. Only thing Reed knows how to make is a mess. Like everything else that comes out of Edgewater, that peace offering is canned. I and my own are living just fine out here by ourselves.
Reed asked me to divert your power over to him. He mentioned a geothermal plant.
He would do such a thing. The question is, why would you agree to his plans?
Your camp has a power regulator. I needed to repair my ship.
Cannery's got a regulator. You want ship parts, you ought to rip them out of the cannery's guts and leave us be. If you're going down to the plant, you should divert power away from Edgewater and toward our end of the grid. Think about it. You'd be liberating an entire town from a lifetime of service to that odious cannery. Seems the sort of thing a hero would do.
What have you got against the town?
You've seen that miserable excuse for a town with your own lamps. Hollowed out workers laboring their lives away at the cannery, living off whatever scrap Spacer's Choice throws them. You know that's true, don't you, Ms. Holcomb? Your father died of overwork. His heart gave out.
He was tired all the time, sure, but he was old, ma'am, and he raised me all by his lonesome.
Look what they did to this child. Lost her family to the company, and still she defends them.
I don't much like you throwing that in her face to get me on your side.
I'm all right. I ain't so fragile.
That was unkind of me. I'm sorry, dear.
What do you have against people trying to make a living?
It's not much of a living. Every single person in that town has sold themselves to Spacer's Choice. The company owns them. Body, blood, and bones. You've been there. You've seen it. All anyone ever does is toil over a cannery. They give their lives for some heartless corporation, and then they're tossed into a Spacer's Choice brand cemetery.
Let's say I help you. What happens to Edgewater?
Life in Edgewater grinds to a halt. The cannery shuts down, workers desert in droves, and our own little camp grows and thrives.
I'll consider it.
I trust you will listen to your conscience.
This place is amazing. Well, this thing. Gold teeth. Wait. Those must be the teeth of Eugene from Edgewater. How did they end up here? This is what I'm wondering. Okay. Personal files. Password required. Open first entry. May the Eternal bless my first endeavor. It's been 2 days since I walked away from life at the Edgewater Cannery. Fortuitously, the old botanical labs are still operational. Mostly. The soil's sour. I'll do what I can, but I'm going to need some powerful fertilizer. Tired of having the taste of saltuna lingering on my tongue day in, day out. I want something fresh, something that grows out the earth. Last entry. We found another worker from Edgewater, ex-worker now. Desertion rates must be climbing. I'm not terribly surprised. Reed's style of management that has always been tyrannical. I imagine an exodus is brewing. At any rate, the worker was in a sorry state. Fever, shallow breathing, delirious, must have been plagued. I set him right with a diet of greens. It was all better in a couple of weeks. Physically, spiritually, he's one of our flock now. Experimental notes. Open first entry. I am hereby repurposing this botanical lab from its original conception as a gear in the soulless automaton of the corporate machine. This greenhouse may look impressive, but like all Spacer's Choice products, it is cheap and unreliable. I shall have to make some repairs with my own 2 hands. This place shall become a nursery. Before it was abandoned, I understand the horticulturalists failed to produce a single viable crop. Something about the soil being too poor. I am determined to find a way. May the Eternal smile upon my endeavors. Flora are living things as sensitive to their environment as any breathing, thinking body. I contend that the crops in this region failed because the corporate scientists tending to them are cold, heartless, inhumane people acting on behalf of a sterile and inhumane power. One cannot expect your crops to flush with green and reach for the sky under these conditions. The soil is sour, it's true. I don't know how quite to explain that. I'm sure the scienticians will say something about biology or the carbon cycle. But I can conclude after months of my own experimentation that the secret to a rich and wholesome garden is love, attention, compassion, and a natural fertilizer bursting with organic materials, just as nature intended. Okay. Let me talk to her again.
Anything else I can do for you?
You want to tell me what these gold teeth are for?
Haven't you ever seen a novelty paperweight?
It reminds me of this guy I heard about, someone named Eugene. He had gold teeth.
I remember a Eugene. Pleasant enough boy. Whatever happened to him?
I never said anything happened.
I did nothing wrong. The teeth were harvested from a body that went cold long before my tools ever touched it. Gold does not decompose. The teeth had to be removed. And while I am no licensed dentist, I should think I did a fair job of it.
You're using decomposing bodies to fortify the soil and help your crops along.
I cannot tell you how refreshing it is to converse with a rational mind. That's exactly right. Rot is necessary for life. A corpse is bursting with the nutrients a young sapling craves. The crops I grow here are natural, nutritious, healthy. My garden does more than fill the bellies of my flock. It keeps them from falling ill.
You seem pretty calm for someone who just admitted to grinding up corpses for fertilizer.
The Vale's barren. Been that way for years. Soil's been sterile about as long as I can remember.
But you found a way to grow something.
All I did was follow nature's own way. Death is essential to life. When the spirit leaves the body returns to the earth from whence it came. What remains is a carcass moldering neath the soil. Decomposition is a natural process, essential to new life. All life feeds on other life.
You've been quiet, Parvati. You have an opinion? She's using your friends as fertilizer.
Oh, I don't know. If it was me, I'd be glad to volunteer. Keeping others alive, that'd be a beautiful gift to leave. But none of the folk you used had a say. You didn't ask, ma'am. And what about my dad? I talk to his grave every Saturday. Is he even there?
Robert is just where you left him, dear. He died too long ago. By now, he's naught but a skeleton.
I need to think about this.
Whatever you say, my dear.
Alright, so I'm going to finish the episode here, and I'll start up the new stream right after. So the ones that are following still, see you on the other end. Thanks.